Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the Sick Twisted Minds at Sacrificial Pawn Productions brings you a new style horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, there's Jason's mask.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. Today I have my brother with me again, Henry, and the movie we're doing today is A Quiet Place. So, Henry, you want to jump right into it?
Yeah.
Quiet Place.
Yeah. I just love the I love recently in the past couple of years we're getting a lot of like original stories and scenarios. You know, and as much as I love zombie movies, but you know, it's not a zombie movie. It's not a slasher. It's not, you know, a clown, killer clown, or anything like that. It's just totally original. And that was the thing that really drew me to it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept of it. The idea I thought was cool as hell with the whole being quiet and all that to survive. But it's
so hard to do.
It is. I just wish there was, I don't know, I kind of wish there was more to the story, I guess. Like, but you know how I am with movies too. Like, I like more aggressive, violent, rip you apart type stuff. But then again, I also like
stuff.
Yeah, but I also do like a good scary story, like a good story. Shit, I'm just gonna get to it right now. Like, if they had, we were discussing this a couple weeks ago, like texting each other and shit. But like, how say if they had like a prequel to kind of explain what's going on more and like tell you where those I don't know what the fuck you even call them, the beasts, where they came from.
Aliens.
Aliens.
I think that it was the director tweeted about it. I'm pretty sure they're aliens.
Well, again, like if they gave you like a, you know, say, because I know they want to do a sequel. We've seen that, but if they did like a prequel instead and like kind of told you where these things were, or where they came from, why they're there, what happened to the other people.
I think that's what they're going to bring up, like those other, remember when they were lighting the fires?
Yeah.
Just, you know, obviously there's other groups of people. One little inconsistency I noticed where remember they showed like the newspapers, and it said like sound attracts them.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much noise it takes to press paper and all that jazz? Like, there's no way in how that would have worked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Now, another thing that I found kind of crazy, right, is like they lost their first son that was playing with that loud ass toy.
Loud-ass toy.
So they decided to have a child. Like,
well, I don't know if they purposely. I'm sure they could have found some condoms.
I mean, the whole as far as we know from what they showed us, there's a lot of people that are dead, which means there's a lot of drugstores with a lot of condoms that they could have used.
Exactly. Dude's pull-out game is just weak.
Yeah, that too. But and champs don't pull out, but that's besides the point. But I mean, like, seriously,
like that, in that scenario, that's literally the worst thing they could have done.
100%. Because you got.
I mean,
you got to think about it. Though. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like you start off with like the sex, for example. Sex, you make noise in sex between the moaning and the slapping and all that stuff, and
the squish sounds,
saying the wild shit you say.
And the pee.
Well, if that's what you're into, man.
Yeah. No pee's quiet though. Shit going down.
This guy, but no, and then you go from that, and then like the birth of a child. That's not quiet, yeah. And the baby being born, the baby crying.
You can't tell to shut up.
No, and I mean I know that she was going through a lot of pain because she had the baby in the tub, right?
Oh yeah, remember she stepped on that nail.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's why I'm like, how? That's the issues that bother me with the movie, like stuff like that. I'm like, a little I mean,
they made a bad situation worse.
Yeah, they made a bad situation worse, and then like, how did they keep all that so quiet? That's my thing. Like, how do they keep that so quiet to the point to where Go ahead.
What do you mean keep what quiet?
Excuse me. Like the baby birth for one.
She didn't.
She didn't?
Well, they didn't even show it. They didn't even show it though. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't show it. The baby, it didn't really cry much, right?
No.
I know they didn't show the baby too much because they kind of focused more on the father and the other two kids.
No, what they did. They did show that the quiet place was that basement.
Okay.
Because they insulated the whole thing with paper mache, and then they put the baby in a box with oxygen.
I don't know, man. It just
yeah.
Like I said, I like the concept. I wasn't real big on this movie, and I remember seeing like, and I know better. I know better. We all do this here and there, though. Like you see, like scariest movie of the year, best movie of the year, and all that shit, and you get all hyped about it.
That's pushing that. That's pushing that. But
you go to see, but I'm saying though, like you see it all over Facebook and all the horror groups we're in. You know what I mean? You see posts. Like you'll see people doing like a video post of like, yeah, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen, this, that, and the third, and it's far from the scariest. It's like it wasn't scary to me at all. I look at it like, obviously if it was real, it would be scary as shit, like being in that situation. But the movie wasn't scary at all to me.
Yeah, it's one of those movies like you really have to like put yourself in the character's shoes. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I said earlier, it wasn't like a jump in your face slasher ghost movie. It wasn't anything like that. It was like a survival movie.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what I like. You know, especially being a parent. You know, you like put yourself in that scenario. Like, damn, like no, that's not scary, but fuck, you know, the thing just killed your kid, type of deal. And then it's a good story.
Yeah. I'm actually glad you brought that part up about the whole parent thing. Like, you know, as you're obviously a father, I'm a stepdad, so I kind of get that. Like, and
I'm gonna whoop that girl's ass.
A lot.
Giving him that spaceship.
A lot. Well, no, because she gave it to him. The dad took it. He took the batteries out, and then the kid took it. And I hold up before I get into that. Let me finish what I was saying about the, you know, you're a parent, I'm a step parent, all that. Like, I get that. Like it tugs at the strings when you see it killing the kid. And like I remember the part where because him and his daughter weren't like, they always seemed like they had like kind of like not a really good relationship throughout the movie, all the way up until when the father got killed and he signed to her that he always loved her.
Yeah.
You probably cried. But
I didn't, but continue.
But like I get that part. Like a lot of horror groups that I'm in and stuff that you're probably into, I see a lot of people like talking about those parts that have children, like that really tug at their heart, you know, tug at their strings and all that. And I get it, which was a good concept. It was pretty cool. But now back to what you were saying about the toy. When his sister gave her little brother the toy, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Cool. she's deaf, so she can't hear it anyway. But
Sure.
like when the father took the toy away and put the toy up, why didn't he put the batteries in his pocket or something? You know what I mean? Think about it. You have how old is Rylan? 4?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's times where you taking a toy from him and put it up, and if you put it away, you'll put it like away to where he can't get it because you know he'll just go and get it when he feels like getting it. And it's not him. It's not him being bad. It's just he's a kid. You used to do the same shit as a kid. You probably still do it now.
I still do it.
I know, but like I like say if he took the toy away, or at least took the batteries out of the toy and gave him the toy to play with, mate. But then
Well, in that situation, well, with it being life and death, I would have been like, you know, did you notice how like they had all the sand, and they walked in the sand barefoot?
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I got absorbed the sound.
Okay, I got one for you. We talk about the whole sex part. What about the burping and farting and sneezing and coughing?
Well, I mean, you can't really. The burping you can not do. You can't stop a sneeze. You could squeak out a fart. Like you could sit like on a pillow or something and just
Okay.
One of those.
Possibly, but what about when you're sleeping or taking a dump?
When you're sleeping, it's involuntary. You can't help it.
Exactly.
You wake up dead. Like, damn, I thought.
This like I said, wake up dead. But I'm not even like seriously. Though, think about that. Like, you fart in your sleep, loud probably. I've been woken up by a fart before, so have you. So it's like. So it's just like I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, there's other factors, but I mean, at the same time, you can't really like look too deep into it, like.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
But yeah, there's some involuntary things you do.
I don't know. Like I said, this was one of those movies. I'm not real big on this. My wife Frances, she loved it. You loved it. I wasn't real big on this though. It was. I don't know.
The one thing I didn't like was that how they figured out how to kill the things.
Yeah.
I would have liked it better if they didn't, because that was kind of like a happy ending. Like, there's there's promise, there's so they showed how to kill the thing, figured out how to kill it, with the feedback, and then almost like did you see the second Tremors movie?
No.
Did you see the first one?
I didn't see any of them. I should have just said that from the beginning.
Oh, all right. Well, so in the first one, there's these worms, like giant worms. I don't remember where they came from, but they're attracted to sounds, vibrations, and when they come up, they fucking eat you. In the second one, they evolve, and they what's the word I'm looking for? Procreate.
Okay.
And instead of using sounds, they use infrared. So they're on top of the ground, and they look like these little, like, two-legged fucking things. And then they figure out how to kill them in that one, where, like, this membrane's exposed, and then they shoot it. Boom. And it was a similar scenario with those things in A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that, though. Like, at the very least...
I like the Tremor movies.
I would? I probably would.
Totally off topic. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's in it. So
he's a good actor. I like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
I like Bacon.
He's in the first two. I don't know about the other ones. I like Bacon too. Speaking
of that, real quick, just because we brought that up, did you hear the rumor? I know it's been dropped, I guess, but that they were going to do a Tremors TV series. I think it was going to be a Netflix or TV series with Kevin Bacon. Yeah. But I think they dropped it, which kind of sucks. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched it anyway.
You wouldn't have?
Nah. I mean, the first two movies are fun, but it's not really, in my opinion, it's not really a story that, or a scenario that can be drawn out for a 12-episode series.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would find a way to make it drag on.
Yeah, of course.
One way or another. Try to tell the story a little bit different. Maybe have the Tremors come later in the series or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But back to the Quiet Place thing though. Like I was saying, like I agree with you on the whole how they killed him. like how they found that out. I kind of wish they found it out later, or maybe
like in the next one.
Maybe if that the way that they died, you know, with the high pitched noise, if it didn't kill them, but say if it just bothered them to where they just left, they ran away or whatever.
Well, see, that's the thing. It was the feedback that kind of like messed them up, and then she shot it, and that's what killed it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like they're sensitive to noise.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just killing anything that makes noise.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, you know, that's what I was saying, how like, I mean, when I worked in a paper mill, like, those machines are loud. Like, there's no way they were able to print and press and ship, you know, all those newspapers saying, it's a noise. Like, what?
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you with that, too. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I just, like I said, I wasn't real big on this movie. A lot of people were real big on this movie. They really, really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say it was far from bad, but it wasn't great to me. It was it was between okay and good. At the end of the episode, you know, I'll give my rating and all that. It was between okay and good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, you already know I like slashers. That's like my number one thing is slashers. But I can watch. I can watch any type of horror movie and enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's just not like how I love zombie movies. Like, that's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not your thing.
Yeah. But again, like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was far from terrible.
Did you see Witch? The Witch?
The Witch? No, I didn't. But I was. I heard about that.
You won't like it.
I won't.
No.
Did you like it?
I love it. It's a slow burn.
I'll have to check it out though. I'll check it out. Is it similar to this, or is it like more crazy at least?
No.
No?
It's, when I tell you it's a slow burn, it's a slow burn. But I mean, without giving anything away, like it's set in the times like when the Pilgrims were settling.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time.
Got you. I would still check it out though.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Like I said, I'm the type. I'll watch just. Yeah, she's not big on horror though, is she?
No, not at all.
So like me, I'll watch any horror movie. I don't care how good or how bad it is. You know that. And I mean, it's one of those things. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I just won't watch it again. Unless I'm doing a podcast on it. If I'm doing a podcast on it, if it's a movie I hated, I'll watch it. I'll rewatch it just to do a podcast if somebody wanted to.
Remember why you hate it?
Yep. But other than that, I'm not gonna waste my time with it. But let me think. You got anything else you want to say about the movie though? I know we haven't been talking too long.
I just really like the how original it was.
Yeah.
You know, the industry's been lacking that, but like the past couple years we've gotten, you know, Insidious and The Conjuring, and as much as The Conjuring are really like they're like haunting movies, but they're still good.
Oh, they were.
You know, and then what Insidious,
Sinister.
Sinister, you know, another. We still need to get a part 2 for that one.
Yeah. Did you?
You know, and then along with it, we got Quiet Place, you know, and just like I just love all these original stories and movies that are coming out.
That is one thing I can say about A Quiet Place is that it's very original, and I do love that fact of it. I love that part of it, that it's original, something completely different. Because a lot of things with horror movies in general is there's so many ideas that are just reused so much, like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Slashers, I mean, I know it's my favorite. Same thing with you with the zombies. I know it's your favorite, but there's still so many movies that are just...
So much, and there's only so much you can do.
It's so watered down, but at the same time, I'll still get up. Like, if there was a freaking Friday the 13th movie coming out next year, I'd be the first one in line to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they've made 12 of those movies that they've watered it down. We did a podcast on that, but I'm just saying, like... Yeah. Shit, Halloween...
Like my favorite is the Return of the Living Dead series, and I mean they made a bunch of them, and the only in my opinion, the only ones worth watching are the first three. The second one's not even that good, but the first one and the third one are great. And then you have like, I think part 4 was called Necropolis, which was terrible. And then they had Rave to the Grave.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did one in 3D too with Sid Haig was in it. You know, Captain Spartan.
Yep.
And Rave to the Grave, it could have been good. They had the right idea, but it was just the casting and the budget. It wasn't there.
Yeah, that's sometimes that can make or break.
I watched all of them though.
Yeah, that right there, what you just said, can make or break a movie between the casting and the budget. I mean, sometimes you can have a really good, fun, exciting, low budget horror movie, and then other times the budget's bad, the casting's bad, the idea is freaking great, but
just the delivery is just not there.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have a great delivery, great casting, and the idea just sucks. I'm like, what the hell? Or they have too much.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's just that's just where it is. You know, the genre, sometimes just lacks originality, and then we get like a burst of these movies.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind it though. But one thing I do like you were saying about how there's the new ideas. I mean, I don't mind the remakes and all that shit either. But I am liking that horror seems like it's actually coming back finally, like coming back to the light. And
yeah.
Like last year with It, for example, that was huge. This year, I guess the huge one, but Quiet Place.
Yeah.
And like you're getting more and more. Halloween's probably going to be huge this October, but you're getting like more and more stuff. And one thing I do want them to start doing with these horror movies, I want them to shy away from the PG-13 and start going to more R-rated stuff. Just because you can show more. That's me, though. I mean, like, I get it. You want the PG-13 because you can probably sell a few more tickets to the young teens and all that stuff, but still.
Bigger crowd, yeah.
Get them good R-rated horror films. And another thing with horror, though, you have a huge, huge, huge following with horror fans that from all ages. You know what I mean? Like, from our age and older and younger, all ages like horror, really like horror movies, and it's like a big strong group that will follow, like a good movie. They will follow a good movie, or will go watch a really good movie.
Yeah, and but especially like with It, you had a lot of people that just, like hardcore like fans of the genre that follow it, like mm-hmm. you and I. But, just watch it because everyone else is watching it, or watch it because they read the book, or like the original made-for-TV series.
Yeah, that was a good movie, by the way.
Yes.
And a great book. So, what else you want to say about A Quiet Place, though?
Oh, so I was reading the husband and wife in the movie.
Uh-huh.
They're husband and wife in real life, too.
I think that's actually pretty cool right there, because you don't really see that too much. So that kind of made, I feel like that could have made certain scenes more emotional and intimate, just because they have that real life connection. They're not acting it out.
Yeah, exactly. Did you watch the show The Office?
No, I didn't like it. I tried.
I didn't either, and then I started watching it the past couple months. It's pretty funny. But the one guy is one of the main characters, the dad.
Okay.
And I was waiting because, they're in the show, they'll, talk and they'll, look at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for him to do that at least once. It didn't happen. But, I mean, for the movie, with it being, everything being quiet, there wasn't, the jump scares with, the loud music and stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. For, more or less being a silent movie, it was pretty intense.
No, I agree with that. It had its moments. Like I said, it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't, it definitely wasn't my favorite movie of the year that I've seen. Like a movie that came out this year that I just seen for the first time this year, which, shit, I'm just going to say it right now. I won't even wait for our next episode we're going to do later. But my favorite movie that I've seen this year so far, as I guess a movie that's been popular online or this year, a movie that came out this year, is Terrifier. Believe it or not. I know you didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I still have to.
And like, I don't want to get too much into it because we're talking about A Quiet Place. I'll talk more about it. Maybe I'll talk more about it in the next episode. I just want to say there wasn't much of a story to it, but I feel this can be one of those slashers that can be like the new slasher of this era, so to speak. That's just my personal opinion on that. Like, they can get deeper in the story with the sequels and all that, and just the guy who played it.
Though, like,
huh?
It was good enough to keep you interested without having a strong story.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, I really, really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of real gory, had some excellent kills. There's a kill in the movie. I don't want to tell you about it because I don't want to ruin it for you, but it was probably, and I've seen a shit ton of slashers. We watched them together. Friday the 13th probably has some of the best kills ever. One of these kills, and it's probably more than one, but the kill I'm thinking of right now, one of my favorite kills I've ever seen in a horror movie. Just the way it was. It was dope. It was cool. It was funny. It was creative.
What does it involve?
A naked girl hanging upside down.
Okay.
That's all I want to say because I don't want to, like I said, if I tell you the rest, I'm going to tell you the kill.
Was she naked or bucket naked?
Bucket naked.
Okay. You know the difference.
Yeah. But, yeah, so...
I've said it a million times, I will watch that movie.
I know. I'm waiting still.
Oh, well.
Yeah, and when you watch it, you're gonna enjoy it. Like I said, it's not a huge story, but I know how you are with movies. It's not that you don't care about the story, but if it's like a lot of action and keeps your attention, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I was saying, what else did you want to talk about this movie, A Quiet Place?
I think I pretty much touched on what I liked and what I didn't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish that the dad wasn't killed off.
Yeah. Like he's...
it was just a really intense, for being what it was really intense. That movie came out of nowhere.
I know.
And then it was number one for quite a while.
Yeah, it was.
Not longer than it, though.
No, hell no. That movie was just too freaking... That movie was excellent. It really was. And again, I don't want to get too much into it. Maybe we can talk about that randomly in other movies and upcoming movies in the next episode we're going to do in a few hours or whatever.
Yeah,
like that movie...
I'm really excited about Hereditary.
Yeah, I watched that... Let's just wait for let's keep talking about A Quiet Place and let's just wait for the other thing because, yeah, I agree with you on that. Oh, shit, I just knocked something over. The hell did I knock over? You still there?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But, all right, man. So, you still got some time, right?
A little bit.
All right. Yeah. Huh?
Starting to show up.
Oh, okay. So with this, I guess we can. You don't have anything else to say about the movie, really, do you?
I mean, I just have a lot of hopes for the sequel.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be a prequel, but from what I was reading, the director said he wants to touch into what those other fires were about, who they were, who the people were, and that old guy whose wife was dead,
mm-hmm.
and he just screamed, like, how did he survive so long?
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like, if they're attracted to sound, then you just go from there, like, all right, let's fucking be quiet. We'll live. You know what I mean? But
it's not that simple, though. But I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, shut up and you'll survive.
Yeah.
So,
like, I wouldn't be able to go fishing because, like, if I lost a fish, I'm like, fuck! And then boom, I'm dead.
Yep. And you swear a lot when you fuck up on stuff.
I do.
We can jump right in because it seems like neither one of us really have too much more to say about it. So we can jump right into the segment called, my little segment, Slicing and Dicing with Sir Sturdy.
Yeah.
So with the first part of it, I'm gonna ask you. I'll give you mine after. But what did you rate this movie and why?
I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. mostly because like I would have liked it more if like whatever those things were, if they weren't aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't find like stuff from space. Like I don't like the alien movies, Star, any of that shit. Space is kind of stupid, so you know. But if it was something like man-made that just like got out of control, that would have been, I think, in my opinion, would have been better. But
I hear you.
I think the monsters. We'll just call them monsters. I think if they were different. If it was a man-made reason why the world ended, or was in that post-apocalyptic or whatever. I like scenarios like that better.
Yeah, yeah.
Than some aliens coming down and killing everybody.
I don't mind the whole. Well, go ahead.
I love the original, just how original it was.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess I'll jump into my rating. I'm gonna give it a 5.5, maybe a 6.
Oh.
And pretty much, like I said, I wish there was kind of more depth to the story. This movie, though, like if they did a prequel to this movie and kind of explain more things, that might make this one even better. You know what I mean? Like
It was well written, I think.
I would appreciate it more. I'll say that. I love the originality about it. I think that was awesome. I just wish there was a little bit more. Like I said, I wish there was a little bit more to the story. I wish that I don't know. Like I wish we knew more about like what happened to everybody else in the town, or let's just say the town, because I don't know how big this fucking outbreak is.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it.
I would assume.
Yeah, but I would like to. So what happened to the rest of the world? How did these things get there? Why are they there? Did they go to other planets and destroy them too? Or like kill everything on those planets too? What planet are they from? Did Ja Rule send them? If they would have let me know stuff like that, I would have enjoyed it more. But
yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be hard to like really, really get into it because like people can't talk.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
not everyone knows sign language. Like not everyone knows sign language, right? So like,
I sure as hell don't.
So, like,
the only sign language I know is a thumbs up and the middle finger.
There you go. But like, say so, like that family or that group runs into another group and they don't speak sign language, so they're just gonna write notes to each other.
That is a good thing though, and I mean they knew sign language even before this thing happened because their daughter was deaf.
Yeah.
So they had to learn. They had to learn sign language even before this little outbreak or whatever you want to call it happened.
So they were already adapted to it.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like communicating with others and all that. It's like not everybody knows sign language. You have sloppy handwriting, so I would just be like, "Oh fuck, nigga, I can't read this. What does this say?" And then boom, I'm dead.
I would just circle pictures in the magazine and point to them and shake my head.
It wouldn't even make sense. We'd have to text each other. Putting your phone on silent and text each other.
Yeah, that could work.
To an extent.
Smoke signals.
Yep. But okay, so let me jump into the next one. Would you rewatch this movie, and would you recommend this movie?
Like say, like if I came across it used on DVD on Blu-ray, then yeah.
Okay.
I would buy it and watch it probably one more time.
All right. And now,
I would recommend it.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I don't even know. I might buy it. I don't know if I would or not. I'd probably just fire stick it. But then again, if I found it really cheap on Blu-ray or DVD, I'd probably get it just to have it to the collection.
Exactly, yeah. Like when it came out, I'm like, I'm getting it. And got it. But like when this comes out,
Yeah, no, I want it. I didn't get it yet. But and then as far as recommending it, I would recommend it. A lot of movies that I watch, if I like them or not, I would recommend it because people have different opinions on them. Except for fucking Judgment Day, that was terrible. The fucking new Hellraiser movie.
Yeah, I've watched bits and pieces of the first one, I think, and that was about it. So I'm not even really familiar with the franchise.
Yeah, just, I mean, if you want to watch it, go ahead and fucking punish yourself for it. Just don't blame me that you watched it. Okay. Same thing with Jeepers Creepers Part 3. Like, it was It was
When I saw a picture of the monster or whatever it was driving a truck, I'm like, all right, nah.
What, in Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah.
He drove in the first two too.
Yeah, see, I like brainless monsters.
Yeah.
Like Jason driving a car.
Michael does.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably watched like a movie or something when he was in the psycho ward. Or someone taught him to drive at night or something. Who knows? But
no, I get what you're saying. But no, Jeepers Creepers, the first two were good. The third one, not so much.
I think it had Justin Long in it, and the first one did, and he's funny as hell. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna watch it, waiting for him to make me laugh, and it's just gonna take away from the experience for me.
Yeah, part 2 was probably the best one, most popular one too. I believe it's always on TV. And so my next question is, okay, well, shit. I know there wasn't very many characters in this, so I'm gonna try to see if you can remember the characters. Did you have a least favorite to favorite character?
I'd say my favorite character was the dad.
Okay.
And my least would be the daughter, man. She was a bitch.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Did you?
Because
ungrateful.
Because you said something about her earlier, like you didn't really care for her too much, so I just knew she was gonna be your least favorite. But mine, yeah. I'll have to say, man, this is weird. Like shit. Let me think about this.
You say the kid that died in the beginning?
No, not him. He's a little kid. That's what kids do. They play with toys. They don't, you know what I mean? They want to have fun. So I can't really think about.
Kids.
I want to say the parents are both. Well, I could say the dad's like my favorite because like he's all about like he might not show too much, but he really does care about his family. He tries to protect them the best he can. He saved his daughter's life.
He was trying to fix her earpiece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was doing a lot. And then
that's what saved him.
And then my least favorite, I can say, is the parents together because with the whole, like, just with the having
that was irresponsible.
Yes, the baby thing, like having the kid, I felt was just, it was a bad idea. It was irresponsible because I'm looking at it like, okay, you have these things coming around. You know they're attracted to sound. And yet you're still gonna have a child. Like you have to.
Yeah, I mean, I love Poon as much as the next guy, but
yeah, and
if you're gonna risk having a kid, like, just there's other things you can do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yes.
Call it a night.
And to top it off, it's like you said, it's irresponsible, and you got to think of it. It's like you just lost a child. What was it, like a year earlier or a couple of years earlier?
Yeah.
You just lost a child. Making noise, playing with a loud ass toy to one of those monsters.
Playing with each other's toys.
Yeah, to one of those creatures. And now you're having another child, and it's like. And it's.
Mama drama.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like, I mean, with the daughter, yeah, she's older. She's smart. She's deaf, yeah, but it's like she's older, so she's through that phase of like. Playing with loud ass toys and all that stuff. Like the little kid, that's just what little kids do. They want to have a good time. They want to play. I'm not saying older kids don't, but they kind of know better. She understands the situation more than her little brother did. Now you bring a whole new child into the picture, a brand new baby, a newborn.
Just to go through it all over again.
Even more so though, because like I said, they never tell you when this stuff started. Like this stuff could have just started, like say, in the movie, it could have been going on for let's say 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Versus it's been going on for, 20 years where the parents should have fucking definitely knew better than to have any children at all, which would have made them very irresponsible.
Let's just do butt stuff.
But, okay, I got that one out of the way. So what would you do, if anything, about this movie to change it, to make you like it more?
The origin of whatever those things were.
Yeah. That's
and
it?
Maybe show what happened.
Okay.
Like how the first one got out or how the first two, anything of that nature.
Okay. That makes sense.
Hopefully that's what they do in the sequel.
Like I said, for me, it would have to be, like I said, more to the story, kind of explain where these things came from, kind of explain what happened to the other people, and like how long has this been going on for, type of deal. Like I said, if they make a prequel, I would go back and if they made a prequel to this movie and kind of answer those questions, but also had the prequel kind of fall into this, not like a prequel or it's like they kind of tell you 20 years ago this happened, da da da, da. And then then they'd have like a big skip or a big jump, like have a prequel that explains this, then jump into this movie. Like when the way the prequel ends should kind of be the way this movie starts, kind of,
Yeah, the next one, yeah.
And that right there, if they did that, I would watch the prequel. I'd watch this one again, and I'd probably give this movie a higher rating. But like I said, I gave it like a 5.5, 6 because it was just
now, yeah.
It just didn't do enough for me. Like it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a terrible movie. To me, it was okay to good
Overhyped,
at best.
In your opinion?
Definitely overhyped. Definitely overhyped. And the problem with the overhypeness, though, is it's kind of my fault because I usually ignore that stuff when it comes to. I'm just gonna stick with the horror genre when it comes to a horror movie coming out because people always, oh yeah, this movie was so scary. I could barely, people running out of theaters. I could barely finish it. Can't watch it alone.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep. All that other bullshit. I'm like, no, it's really not that damn scary.
When I do that, when I take that into consideration, I ask people who like their opinion matters to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm not gonna ask a stranger on the internet like, I don't care what you think.
No, I get what you're saying.
You
I mean, most of the stuff I see, and like I said, just from videos of people posting in horror groups and all this stuff talking about the movie. And honestly, now that I think about it, and I should have thought about this a while ago, people do that just to go viral. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
In this whole internet state, which, go viral. Cool. I want to go viral with my damn podcast, so more power to you. But in this stage, I got to kind of take that into effect, too. Like, okay, you know what? They're doing this to go viral. They're getting 1 million views. The video's funny. But let me check this movie out for myself before I have that. Like, I gotta, I think with horror movies that come out that are like the quote unquote big names or quote unquote movie of the years, I have to go in there with zero expectations or else you're gonna be disappointed every single time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm glad I don't have cable because just seeing commercials for shit would be annoying. But with the internet alone, you see, you know what I mean? You see that. So it's like, you still have to kind of ignore that.
That's just the day. That's just the day and age.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we are.
Definitely. What else was I gonna say to you?
Yeah.
Well, shit. All right, I have another part of this. I sent you the show notes and stuff. I don't know if you got a chance to go over them, but excuse me. 2 horror movies you would recommend for people to watch. Any 2 horror movies you can think of.
Like I said earlier, The Witch.
The Witch?
The Witch, yeah. It's not a slasher. It's another movie, in my opinion, that's unique. And then when it's over, it makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I can tell you what it made me think about, after you watch it. And it's not really. It's hard to explain without you seeing it. Just makes you think about like how people reacted to certain situations back in those times.
Yeah.
And honestly, I haven't really watched anything in the past in quite a while, other than superhero movies.
It doesn't have to be a new horror movie, though. It can be any movie. You can be a movie you've seen 10 years ago. Just 2 horror movies in general, if you have anything you can think of.
Well, there's, going back to original movies, the Insidious franchise.
Yes.
I haven't seen the latest one, but the first one was the first movie to actually make the hair in the back of my neck stand up, and since I was a fucking kid.
That's cool.
And I smoked a bowl in the parking lot before I went in, but I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I'm gonna say, shit, you know what? I've been championing this movie for a while. I'm gonna say go see Terrifier.
Yep.
Because it was a really good movie. and I actually want to buy that movie. It was that good, I would buy it. And my second one, oh shit, let me think. I know, damn. Now I see what you mean with this whole. I put myself on the damn spot. I'm have to, and I know my damn show notes. I should have just wrote something down. Let me think. Give me a minute.
Leprechaun in the.
You know what? The guy Matt that I met at this con about a month or two, no, probably about 2 months ago, maybe 3. Anyway, me and him are doing. He's been on the podcast a couple times now. And
was he the guy that had the gremlin and the
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
We've taken pictures with that guy a bunch of times.
That's crazy.
He was at every SACRIFICIal we went to.
Yeah, he lives at.
I distinctly remember seeing that, and I think he was at SantaCon also.
He might have been. He used to live up here, but he lives out that way now in Verona.
Okay, yeah, because he's the only person I distinctly remember that guy because he would have the gremlin in like the baby holster, and he would walk around. We took pictures of him, took pictures with him a couple times.
You know what's funny about that? Before I say a movie is I've talked to him a few times. As a matter of fact, the last podcast I had him on, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or before or after, but I was like, yo, I've probably seen it because I remember seeing that. I was like, shit, this year I'm gonna look out for him and find him because now I personally know him and I'm gonna talk to him and all that stuff.
Go through your pictures.
I will. I'll have to.
From SACRIFICIal, I guarantee you he'll be in at least 2 of them.
Yeah, but me and you are bad at taking pictures when we go to places like this.
I remember taking a picture of him, like when we were coming back from, I think, going to the car.
Okay.
And he was like hanging out outside by the bathrooms or something like that.
Okay. But anyway, shit. I'll say another movie, Lost After Dark. I guess it's a slasher movie. I've never seen it. But me and Matt are actually recording next weekend, June 2nd. And we're doing the movie Lost After Dark and My Soul to Take. And I actually want to do this with you one day.
My Soul to Take. Terrible.
Not necessarily those two movies, obviously, but what we're doing is we're doing 2 slasher movies and kind of like we're going to rate each movie and then kind of have them go head to head, like, whatever. Yeah. After we rate them both and shit. So that'll be kind of, talk about them, rate them, all that'll be kind of fun. So, yeah, so My Soul to Take. So that's the 3 movies I'll say. I know I said 2, but Lost After Dark, My Soul to Take, and, Terrifier. Go see Terrifier. And actually, I want to do Terrifier versus that movie called Clown. I haven't seen Clown yet, so.
Ellie Roth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do those 2 movies head-to-head kind of thing.
Okay.
But, so me and you could do that.
Yeah, because Clown is on...
it's on
Netflix. I don't know if it still is or not.
It's on Netflix. It might be on the Fire Stick. I know Terrifier is definitely on the Fire Stick because that's how I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
And I've heard up and down ratings about the Clown movie. I've heard good. I've heard decent. I've heard bad. But again, I can't go by that. I have to actually see it myself.
Yeah.
But you know how that stuff goes. Some people like it. Some people hate it.
Everyone has their own reason.
Yeah, which, it's cool. It's cool. So yeah, that's actually all I got right now on this list. I don't know if you got anything else you want to add.
No, I think I spoke with this.
Good. All right. Well, don't hang up. I'm gonna end the episode real quick. So anyway, thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
And I know hopefully we'll be recording in a few hours again. Can't wait to record again. But yeah, thanks for coming on again. Everybody, thanks for listening to another episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last few episodes, but I'm in the process of making this a weekly podcast instead of a bi-weekly podcast. So bear with me. Thanks for listening again, and as always, I'll see you.